2025 looks like it's going to be filled with banger sneaker releases, and the year hasn't even started yet. And it seems like Jordan Brand is starting off the year right with a possible instant classic, the Air Jordan 5 Metallic Reimagined. The Air Jordan 5 Metallic returns for the first time since 2016 on February 8th, 2025 for a retail price of $210 in full family sizing. I grabbed my pair early from Bird Kicks on Instagram. You can grab your pair from them as well, or you can check them out through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. As of right now, the resale price for these seems to be around $400 to $500, but it could be cheaper or more expensive at the time of checking out this video. Again, click that YouTube shopping tab right there just to see what it's going for at the moment. But my guess is when this shoe actually releases, the resale price will drop pretty significantly, probably to around retail. Barring any crazy jump in Jordan hype over the next couple months, I kind of doubt that happening, but who knows. But whether this shoe is incredibly hyped up and sells out immediately, or no one really cares and it ends up sitting on shelves, I still think it's an excellent pair of sneakers, and I'm really happy that the metallic 5s are finally back. Now, to be fair, this is a reimagined 5, so there are some details on this shoe that were not present on the original pair of shoes, which we'll get into a little bit later on in the video, but overall, it's pretty similar looking to the OG. But before we get any deeper into the sneaker review, let's first take a look at the box. So as you may have expected, the box is pretty much your standard Air Jordan 5 box. You've got a black box top, you've got the Jumpman on the top in red. On one side, you've got the Nike Air branding and also the, what seems like splatter print detail on the bottom half of the box. Not too much else going on besides the size tag. Now, I had to grab a size 9.5 because that was the only size available, and the official colorway is black, white, metallic, silver. But let's take a closer look at the metallic 5s and find out what makes this pair a reimagined pair versus a standard pair of Air Jordan 5s. So starting off around the toe of the shoe, you've got this black nubuck mudguard, and black nubuck seems to be the dominant material that covers a majority of the upper of the shoe. The nubuck on the mudguard, on the toe, and around the rest of the sneaker all feels pretty decent. It's very, very smooth. It's probably synthetic is my guess, but it doesn't feel cheap. It's very buttery. It doesn't feel like it shouldn't be on the shoe, like it doesn't feel out of place. All around, it's a nice touch on this sneaker. Would I have preferred suede? Sure, I realize that's not the OG material on the shoe, but if you're gonna reimagine the shoe, suede is not a bad way to go. We've seen it on the Royal ones, and that didn't work out too well, but look at the Bread Forest from last year that switched out the suede or the nubuck for the leather. That worked out great. In this case, I think they could have switched out the nubuck for a hairier suede, and people might have liked it. I don't know. Speaking of the reimagined portions of the shoe, the detail that Jordan Brand added that's very different from any other pair of Air Jordan 5s is that if you look at all of the panels on the upper of the shoe, you've got what at first looks like a white line, but when you get a little bit closer, you realize it's actually reflective piping. Literally, until I got these shoes in hand, I thought that this edge was just a white edge to the nubuck. I thought that's just the color that it went with. I thought that maybe it was supposed to look aged or something like that. But when you look closer, you realize that the edges aren't white and instead are covered in some sort of 3M material. At first I thought it was piping. It looks like it's actually just painted on there, but it gives the sneaker a very unique look. Not only does it outline every single panel on the shoe, making it look different than other pairs of Air Jordan 5s, but it also adds another level of interest. If you're walking in the shoe in the dark and maybe a car goes by, you'll light up all these lines, or maybe someone takes a picture of your shoe with the flash, all these lines will light up. And they're actually not the only 3M details on the shoe, but we'll talk about the other details later on in the video. Now, the reason for the addition of this reflective detail is because Tinker Hatfield made the Air Jordan 5 the first basketball sneaker with a reflective tongue. So when reimagining the sneaker, rather than aging it, even though in some ways it kind of looks like it could be aged, they decided to add reflective details. And you know what? I'm kind of on the fence about it. I think I like it. I think I'm into it, but not having the last metallic 5s from 2016, I kind of wish I had a pair that looks closer to the original. Is that going to be the case for everybody? Probably not. I'm sure some people will love this detail and other people will probably hate it, but I don't mind it. Continuing back in the sneaker, you've got another black nubuck panel, which of course is outlined in this reflective silver. You've got your black TPU lace eyelets as you have on every other pair of Air Jordan 5s, and weaving through the eyelets on the shoe, you've got white flat laces. Now the good news is, if you don't like these white laces, they do give you a set of black laces if you decide you want to switch them out. They actually come attached to the laces when you pull the shoe out of the box. But the reason that Jordan Brand opted for white laces on this reimagined 5 is because one of the PEs that Michael Jordan wore in the 1990s was a pair of metallic 5s with white laces. So these white laces actually add a cool layer of history and interest into this shoe, which I didn't expect to like as much as I do. And I think I will be keeping the white laces because they do add a nice accent to this sneaker. It kind of reminds me of the white laces or even the red laces on the off-white 5s, which I think are also actually based on the metallic 5s as well. Underneath the laces on the bottom half of the tongue, you've got your classic clear Air Jordan 5 netting. And then moving up in the shoe, you get to a set of lace locks in both clear plastic and red plastic, which is a very nice addition on this pair of sneakers. And just behind that, you get to your very padded, reflective Air Jordan 5 tongue with the Jumpman embroidered into it in bright red. Moving inside the sneaker, you get to this sort of washed black fabric on the sock liner. And of course, in the back of the tongue, you've got your upside down Air Jordan tag. The insole of the sneaker comes in red with Nike Air printed on the heel in white. But at this point, let's talk about sizing and fit. Now, unfortunately, I was only able to grab a pair of size 9.5 Air Jordan 5 Metallic Reimagined, which is not my size. I'm usually a size 9, but I actually do have other pairs of size 9.5 Air Jordan 5s. Coincidentally, I've got 8.5s, I've got 9s, and I've got 9.5. So I have some idea how a 9.5 fits on foot and how it should feel on my feet. So because of that, I still feel like I can give you some sizing advice. Generally, this shoe fits me like every other pair of size 9.5 Air Jordan 5s that I have or have owned. And because of that, I would assume that this shoe does fit true to size. Now, 9.5 is not that much bigger than a size 9, so it did still fit me pretty well, I'm not gonna lie. But I think if you're grabbing this shoe, you should be able to go with your standard size and be good to go. Jordan brand sneakers usually fit pretty much true to size. Now, with that being said, this pair of Reimagined Air Jordan 5s is supposed to be very similar to the OG pair of Air Jordan 5s, meaning that the cut of this shoe is supposed to be as close to the original as possible. Now, I don't totally know if that's true because I don't have any pairs of OG 1990 Air Jordan 5s, but from the images, it looks pretty similar. But hey, if you're an OG collector and you have a pair, let me know in the comment section down below how close these are to the originals. Continuing back in the sneaker to the midfoot, you get to your classic Air Jordan 5 ventilation hole, which comes with clear netting. Of course, the edges of the paneling that surround this netting area also have reflective details. Then moving around to the heel of the shoe, you get to yet another reflective detail, but not one that you might expect, and that is the reflective Nike Air branding. So rather than being embroidered into the back of the shoe like most Air Jordan 5s, instead you've got what seems to be like a TPU piece that's actually pressed or I guess glued onto the back of the shoe, which kind of gives it this 3D effect, which I think is kind of nice actually. Now, of course, this is a reflective hit. It's got this nice sort of sparkle to it or shimmer to it, and it does light up whenever you take a picture of the shoe with the flash. Then moving down in the shoe, you get to your black Air Jordan 5 midsole, of course with the air unit towards the heel, and then on the lateral side of the shoe, you've got your metallic silver shark teeth, which I wasn't sure if they were reflective at first, but I'm pretty sure that they're just metallic, but that makes sense because it is the metallic 5s. Of course, these shark teeth also feature black splatter print, and you also have this one singular triangle on the medial side, which comes in the same finish, the metallic silver and the black. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you get to some semi-translucent blue rubber accents on the heel and on the forefoot. You've also got the Jumpman printed underneath the rubber on the forefoot. You've got some black on the toe and some black on the midfoot, and of course the Nike branding. So I've got to admit, these Air Jordan 5 Metallic Reimagined are different than I expected. I really didn't think these reflective details were going to be there, and now that I've seen them, I don't mind them. Are they my favorite additions to this sneaker? Probably not, but they don't take away from the sneaker for me. I'd still buy these shoes, I still will buy these shoes in my size, and it's a pair of shoes that I still think is going to be one of the more popular releases of 2025. Now, to be fair, the Air Jordan 5 has not been the most popular pair of Air Jordans that's released over the last couple years. That seems to be more of the Air Jordan 4 and the Air Jordan 3, and sometimes the Air Jordan 1. The 5s are up there, but not always, and I think the 5s just haven't been as hot as they were in previous years. So because of that, I don't know what the reception is going to be like for these. That being said, in a lot of ways, this is still an OG colorway, and OG colorways tend to do really well. So again, if you want a pair of these, you can check them out through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. I feel like it's one of those pairs that probably will end up either selling out or close to selling out, but who knows? I would have expected the Legend Blues to sell out, but they're still sitting like a week after they release. But if you made it to this point in the video, let me know your thoughts on the Reimagined Air Jordan 5 Metallics in the comment section down below. Do you like the changes? Do you like the reflective hits? Do you like the white laces? Do you like possibly the new shape of the shoe, or I guess the original shape of the shoe? Let me know all those thoughts down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.